Let's have order from Senator Kajwang.
I feel that Senator Kajwang is out of order for misleading the House, that the statement that was sought by Senator Mundigi was about availability of fertilizer, Madam Speaker.
Senator Kajwang, resume your debates.
Madam Speaker.
Respond to the issues of correctness of what you have stated.
Madam Speaker, Senator Methu can decide to believe what he wants to believe. But this is the intellectual amnesia that this House has been accused of. And if he wants me to withdraw, I withdraw. And if that's going to make him happy, then allow me to proceed. Madam Speaker, I want to stand with the many men and women who have been felled by police bullets while they are only exercising their rights that are enshrined in the Constitution. Madam Speaker, there are people in this country who wish to rule like Moi did. Unfortunately, they cannot rule like Moi because they don't have the constitution that Moi had. There are people who think that they can rule like Kibaki. Unfortunately, they do not have the intellectual infrastructure and capacity to rule the way Kibaki did. Madam Speaker, we shall be on the streets tomorrow in pursuit of our economic, political, and social rights that are in the Constitution. And Madam Speaker, those rights are not granted by the Constitution. They are not granted by the state. The state and the Constitution are mere custodians of those rights on behalf of the people of Kenya. And so, when you see people out there with sufurias on their heads, and Madam Speaker, I've also not seen people walking around with wheelbarrows as a transformational economic model. So just allow us to walk with sufurias the way you also bamboozled the nation with wheelbarrows. And today, that wheelbarrow, Madam Speaker, is not moving because instead of greasing the wheelbarrow, they have poured sand on the wheels of that wheelbarrow. They have poured sand by making sure that petroleum is inaccessible, Madam Speaker. Just this week, a parent called me and told me that the school has imposed an additional 10,000 fee on all parents. Why? Because the cost of basic food and commodities has gone up, and school principals have to make sure that their children eat. I know the children that are sitting in the Speaker's gallery today, the parents and the teachers whose children are here in the Senate. Understand me when I say that even schools are unable to make ends meet. Madam Speaker, law and order is a responsibility of the police to maintain. And that is a duty that has been granted to the police by the Constitution of Kenya. What our duty as the opposition and Senator our duty Kajwang, as majority of Kenyans is...
Senator Kajwang, let's hear the point of order.
Speaker, I rise under Standing Order number 98 and 105 on statement of fact. Senator Kajwang, who is my chair, is stating that the price of cost of living and food has gone up. Yet, 1 year ago, his party leader, that's Raila, ODINGA, and Uhuru Kenyatta, were in power. And the cost of unga was 230 shillings. Now, Madam Speaker, the price of unga has come down to 170 shillings. Why did they not demonstrate? Madam Speaker, and I can tell them, there is no one. He has said that some people want to rule like Moi or Kibaki. But we don't want to lose like Raila Odinga perpetually, Madam Speaker. We cannot. My point of order is that let the facts, understanding 105, Madam Speaker. But Madam Speaker, you don't need to shout. This is not a marketplace. Can you request us? You don't need to shout. You just need to listen. You don't need. This is not a shouting match, Madam Speaker. The minority side, they always work out. They can work out. We don't care. Senator, they can work out. Madam Speaker, so my point of order is they can work out. Who are they? They can work out. Madam Speaker, understanding 105. Madam Speaker, understanding 105.
Are you listening?
The Senator of Mutembei.
I'm talking, Senator Cherargei. Senator Cherargei, when the chair is speaking, you must heed.
Correct.
Point of order.
Madam Speaker, you need also to be protected because they are shouting, you can't hear. Madam Speaker, understanding 105 on responsible statement of fact. The Senator of Mutembei, my very good friend, Madam Speaker, has alleged that the cost of living is high now. Yet 8 months, 9 months, when his party leader and Uhuru Kenyatta were in power, the cost of living was even very high. Is it in order, Madam Speaker, when we had the price of unga was 230 shillings, now the price of unga is 170 shillings, Madam Speaker.
In fact, resume your seat because that point was already spoken. Resume your seat. Senator Kajwang. Senator Eddie, Senator Kajwang has the floor.
Madam Speaker, allow me to, in response, educate Senator Cherargei on something called fiscal policy.
I have given you direction, Senator
And there are two critical elements when you're considering fiscal policy. One is the rate of inflation, 2 is interest rates, and 3 is forex rates. Madam Speaker, all these numbers have gone up. And Madam Speaker, I think Senator Cherargei should perhaps educate...
Senator Kajwang, do you want to be informed by Senator Eddie?
Yes, I'd like to be informed.
Resume your seat. Donate your time to Senator Eddie.
Madam, it's not a donation, Madam Speaker.